Welcome to Moving Monday with Ray and Ryan. I'm Ryan. That's my buddy Ray. Um, Sorry I had to miss last week. As you guys all know, I coach basketball, coach a bunch of stuff. But anyway, I had a game rescheduled, so wasn't able to be on. But glad to be back. Before we get too far
Definitely
into
glad to
it,
have you back.
yeah, yeah. Ray, how you been?
I'm not too bad about yourself.
Been doing good, doing good.
Yeah,
Busy, like we were just talking about. But you know, can't complain.
'tis the season.
That's yeah. That's
Yeah.
for sure. What do you got for us tonight?
Wanted to chat a bit. It's something that's comes across. Comes I encounter on a regular basis, both as a coach and as a patron at Orange Theory. When I go in, it's not just so much with physical strength, but it's also mental strength, and it's just talking about how you're stronger than your mind thinks you are. And a lot of times folks, will, from the physical standpoint, we'll tell them, grab a challenging weight, and they'll go with what they're used to. And so, the rep count, this one is specific to the physical strength. Rep counts, if it's a low rep count, you should be challenging yourself to go a little bit heavier than you do on a normal basis. If you got a higher rep count, then choose a more conservative weight. But also, one of the things I like to say, and this applies in so many different ways, it's almost metaphoric, um, is it's better to start off heavier and have to realize that that was too much and that you need to let up and go lighter than it is to have gotten through a full set thinking, wow, I wish I would have grabbed a heavier weight, because you can't get that back. And so a lot of times folks will grab a weight, and or I'll encourage them, how about we try just 5 more pounds, or or if I see them, I'm like, that's not enough weight. And they'll look at me like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, I can see what you're doing. I can see how your body's moving, and you've got so much more strength than you're giving yourself credit for. So let's bump that up a bit. And then they'll do it. And I'm like, how'd that feel? They're like, well, I got through it. I know. I'm aware that you could get through that. So, and that kind of couples with another thing that I kind of wrote down for us to talk about is, listening to the encouraging challenges. And so, we have people in our life, or, just circumstances in our life that are going to challenge us to do more than sometimes what we think we can. And, if you play it safe all the time, then you don't grow. And it goes both with strength and, life. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. I know it sounds cliche, but there's so much in that statement of, accept the positive challenges and grow from them and learn. Um, I have a coworker in my day job. We had a conversation last week, and it kind of comes with, not, this isn't physical strength, but it's more of self-doubt and getting over it. And they talked a lot about, I'm just not sure that I'm ready for that next level of leadership. I'm not ready that I'm sure to be in the room with senior leaders. And everybody that was at the table was like, you're more than ready. You do it every day. You just don't realize you're doing it. And you have a sense of confidence that says that when you're in that room, you're still going to, get the same amount of respect that you do in the rooms that you're in now. And you are ready. And there's just a lot more to that than, than a physical strength, but it's mental strength. It's, it's the challenge of stepping outside of your comfort zone, and, and allowing yourself to grow. Cause if you don't put yourself in those situations, there's no room for growth. There's no growth in being safe. And so, I don't know, there's just so much been going on lately with different changes in the multiple environments in my life. I, even with Cruz, had a discussion with one of the parents in soccer yesterday, and they talked about their indoor soccer team has been beating other teams so much that they stopped keeping score after they're up by 10. So every game that they've played this session, they've had to stop keeping score because they're winning by that many. And so they talked about the team moving up to the next age bracket, even though none of the kids are on our team are that age, because they need a bit more of a challenge. And it's very much of a, what are we doing here? We're allowing them to just be good and not have a challenge. They're not teaching themselves anything. They're not growing at all. So it might be a situation where we have to put them up, an age grade, so that way they can get more of a challenge and maybe humble them a little bit. So, but also, it comes with a challenge, and there's just, again, so many different aspects of my life lately have been going back to, the challenges, accepting them, and the growth that comes with it.
Yeah, no, I think trying to process a lot of what you were saying. I think sometimes it's nice to be the big fish in the small pond, but only to a certain point, or you can only be that for so long if you want to expand and grow and be better.
Yeah.
That's great to reach that level, but if you want to keep going, you got to go find a bigger pond and be that smaller fish, and then keep working your way up.
Yeah.
I think that's great if they'll allow Cruz's team to do that, to get that challenge.
Yeah.
Like you said, yeah, they're out there playing and they're doing stuff, but are they getting any better?
Yeah.
And I think mentally that would be good for them to go up and play stronger competition. Maybe they'll beat some of them, and maybe they'll get beat, which is fine. And we need that. So
yeah. Well, and it'll help them, teach them different things. And one of the things I've identified about indoor soccer for him is it's every kid on the team plays so much more aggressive in the uh, indoor field than they do outdoor. And talking with some of the other parents, we can't figure out what it is about them that makes them feel like they can play harder than they do when they're out there. But the only thing we can think of is that there's the walls, the safety of that you're not going to kick it out of bounds if you kick it your hardest.
mm-hmm.
And so, and there's a whole different lesson in that. And what's the safety of kicking the ball, and knowing that it's going to stay in bounds and that you're not going to just constantly be chasing it out of bounds and whatnot. And so, again, that's a whole nother metaphoric meaning there of how hard can you kick it, if you're not going to go out of bounds. And so it just, again, all of these different opportunities have presented themselves lately to help me just kind of look at different ways of identifying challenges and the comfort zone. I mean, as much as coming to this, last week, I realized that I'm still not comfortable going live by myself. As often as we've done this now, I think we're on almost 30 weeks of doing this. It still is very daunting to me to go live by myself, and just the awkwardness of feeling like I'm just rambling, even though I do most of the talking here because I have a tendency to talk more than you do. But it's just a matter of having somebody to talk to rather than feeling like I'm talking to just the camera and the web, And so, but if I'm looking at it optimistically, it was a challenge that I had to face last week, and and going through the motions. And I'm not sure if you had a chance to go back through and watch it, but I just kind of went over the products and the samples that we have, and it was a good opportunity for me to kind of present that again, because I haven't done that in a while, and I very much felt I need to step up my game and talk about these a little bit more, because we use them every day. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's a matter of the comfort in these products. I know what they do for me, but how do I explain that to folks? And then randomly I saw something, about authenticity, and how authenticity is the, the most desired trait in your surrounding people, or people that you surround yourself with. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to be talking more about how much I really do love these things, because that's not hard to be authentic when I know exactly how they make me feel and what they do for me and for Cruz. And so, just opportunities everywhere.
Yeah. No, I did go back and rewatch, and I thought you did fine. You were Ray like you were always Ray when it's you and I. In my
Okay.
opinion. So
Yeah.
I thought it was just fine. Um, no authenticity. I think you hit it on the head. It's crucial. I think a lot of people in many different areas, business, relationships, anything.
Yeah.
The more authentic you are, the more true yourself you can be. The more people attract to that, and it's and if going in knowing some, hey, I know, just an example. Okay, I've met this Ray guy. I don't really like him, but he was his true self. I can respect that, and then I can make that choice of, hey, do I want to continue a relationship with him in some level, or is that not for me? I can go away.
Yeah.
But you were your true self, and we know that, and then you can make an informed decision.
100%. Yeah. And and that goes for us. It does make me feel good, to see your daily post of you getting your workouts in. I'm not allowed to take a camera into the studio with me, so I can't do that. So I'm a little jealous that you get to video, just one or two movements that you do. But also, it's important for us in this environment because we talk about Movement Monday every day or every week, and to be able to see you getting that movement in. I post stats that say that I got the movement in, and anybody that is familiar with either just what the stats mean or on Orange Theory class, they know that my stats posted mean that I was moving. but uh, but from an authentic standpoint, it's important for me to make sure that I am being authentic in when we talk about Movement Monday and how important it is to keep your body moving and how often we do it. It's get moving, keep moving, stay moving, and it's only going to make us better going forward. And there's challenges within that on its own. It's waking up every Monday morning. Most of them I don't want to get up on a Monday morning, but it's definitely become an authentic or authenticity thing for me to be able to get up and say I got myself moving this morning because it's Movement Monday, never miss a Monday. And so let's go. So
Yeah, there's kind of a running joke at my gym. The 6 o'clock hour, everybody knows I'll be there. And there's
mhm.
been many times I'm the only person there. It's just me and the coach, which is fine because then I get some, one-on-one coaching, and the workout's a little more intense then because you're the only person being watched, so you got to
Yeah,
make sure you're doing everything the right way. But we got a full class today, and like, if something comes up, 6 o'clock, Ryan will be there. And I'm like, yeah, I will be.
yeah,
But I pride myself on that Monday through Friday, unless I'm sick, injured, or out of town, if they offer the 6 o'clock class at my gym, I'll be there.
yeah,
And people, I guess, in some kind of weird way, kind of count on that because they don't necessarily want to go and be by themselves, but they know I'll be there, so they'll show up. So it's kind of fun.
yeah. And that accountability is everything. Yeah, no, 100%. And um, that's the joy of it though. Is it almost becomes like an unwritten responsibility of I'm counted on to be there. So even if I'm the only one there, somebody's going to know I wasn't there at some point. And so and I feel that 100%. I have the option of going to two different Orange Theories. I live almost equal distance between two different ones, but I typically go to the one that I coach at, mainly because yes, some people will see that I post my stats if I go to the other one, but the folks that don't follow me on social media or whatnot, there's the question of, oh, did he take a day off? And I don't want to be known for taking a day off. So,
Right.
I mean, I have my rest days, but it's on the days that I go are the days that I go, and it's become an expectation. And but it's also kind of funny, I go at 5 a.m. every time most of the time that I go. And a couple of weeks ago, I went at 6:15, which is the next class after mine. And one of the members goes, "Oh, it's good to see you in here. How often do you get in here?" I'm like, 4 times a week. She's like, "Oh." So I'm like, no, I come. So I'm here, but I'm just gone before you get here on the days that I'm not coaching. And so that's fun, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And I was thinking too, at the beginning you were talking about how, mentally sometimes your mind can kind of limit what your body can do.
Hmm.
We've talked about how fragile our bodies can be, overall, but I think on the same token, how strong they can be, and that your mind can limit you on what you can do. Being a physical thing, emotional thing, any aspect of life doesn't have to necessarily just be involved in fitness, but it's definitely prevalent there. Um, getting to a point where, okay, hey, this is starting to get tired, it's starting to get uncomfortable. Well, then your mind will kick in. Oh, okay, well that's enough. Well, if you push a little bit more, I bet you'd be surprised how much farther you can go, how much maybe more you could lift. Adding those five
Yeah.
pounds on there. But or even just emotionally, the stuff that life throws at you. Sometimes, life isn't always rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes life hurts,
Hmm.
and your mind can really take over and sometimes amplify those valleys. But if you can kind of find a slight change of mindset when you're in that moment, your body will react and get you through what you need to get through.
For sure. I mean, I think it's Henry Ford that, it's a Henry Ford quote that whether you think you can, you think you can't, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always one that I've kept in the forefront of my mind. And it's so true. It's very much of a, if you put your mind to it, you can get it done. Um, and I saw another thing on Instagram, I think it was today, is as we're in December and we start to focus on, getting to the new year, new me, the resolution time. Focus this month on the positives of what you are able to get done. If you go to the gym and you're not able to do as much, not able to put up as much as you can, or you're not able to run as far as you want it to, celebrate the fact that you went, that you got some, some stuff in. And but at the same time, like you said, if you allow your mind to overcome your ability, you're going to do less. And I'm not sure if you've seen the scene, and I can't remember what movie it's from, but it's a football movie, and it's the coach has a player put another kid on his back and
Oh yeah.
bear crawl across the field blindfolded. And he tells him, "I need you to go 20 yards." He's like, "I don't know that I can do 20 yards," and so he's like, "Well, just keep going." And so he keeps going and keeps going and keeps going until until the coach tells him to stop. And he's like, "I'm not at 20 yards yet." He's like, "I said keep going. I'll tell you when to stop." And before he know it, he crawled the whole distance of the field because he didn't know what he was doing. And it's just it's very much of a, if you can't see what you're doing, you're going to go further than what your mind is allowing you to think that you can't do. So it's such a powerful scene. It's one of my favorite scenes. Anytime I go to a motivational class or something that's going to teach you, mind tricks or whatnot, and they play that, I know it's going to be a good class. So like, this is the energy I need. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
No, it's great, and I mean, it's just so powerful.
yeah,
Just that whole scene is just
uh-huh.
it's incredible. Yeah, like it's one of my favorites too.
Yeah,
I love looking it up and watching it. I think we I don't remember the name of the movie, but we have the movie here on DVD. So,
yeah.
but yeah, it's so powerful. It's just, yeah, if you can turn this off and just let your body go, you'd be really surprised at what you can accomplish.
Yeah, and that's one of the main reasons why I like when we do runs or obstacle courses or whatnot. I like doing it with other people because they're going to push me harder than I would if I was going by myself. If I'm just going to disappoint myself, I'll do it. But if I know I'm going to disappoint a teammate, I'm going to push a little bit harder because I don't want them to think that I'm not trying. And so I'm here for the team, and we should be able to push that hard for ourselves, but it's always easier to push when you're worried about disappointing somebody else than it is, just yourself. And how much can you run, and so yeah, I mentioned it before, but there's a lot of times where I'm grateful to have Cruz with me, because I don't want to, I don't want him to see Dad give up. So so I'll push a little bit harder than on days if I was by myself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've been on that same road, no pun intended, but when I've been on my runs,
Yeah,
running with somebody, or if I know I'm training for something, it's, like you said, it's easier to pick it up and push a little harder. Where if you're just, hey, I'm going to go out for a run, start off really good. It's like, oh, I'm kind of getting tired. So you can back off, because
no,
there's
for sure.
you're not letting anybody down,
Yeah,
besides yourself. But I
yeah,
can deal with that. But, like you said, knowing that I'm accountable to something else or somebody else, I'm not going to be that guy
yeah.
that lets that down. So
Good deal. Anything else you want to touch base on?
no, I think, that was a good chat. I think,
Yeah. No, I'm inspired. I almost want to go for a run right now.
I know, right? Oh
Well,
yeah,
good deal.
before we sign off, how did your month of November go?
I ended up with, I think, just over 60 miles. And so I did get my 60 miles in. I had an opportunity to go one last day on November 30th, but the Seahawks were playing, so I had already hit my 60 miles. And so I chose to stay home and watch Thursday Night Football instead. I hit my goal. I was happy about that. I could have gone another 5 miles. I also hit my fundraising goal. So I was, not only did I hit my fundraising goal, I set a goal of $250, just to I wasn't sure what to expect, how much traction I would get or whatnot. And I raised 525, so more than double what my goal was. So I was pretty
That's
stoked about
awesome.
that. And just super inspired by all the people that reached out and that commented and that followed and supported, and the amount of folks that mentioned to me that they were following along and that they were enjoying seeing the updates of how far I was going through the month. Definitely kept me going. Definitely made me want to keep going, but also made me feel good that I was bringing at least some awareness to men's mental health and suicide prevention, and that's what it all. That's what at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So
Yeah,
so
well,
thanks.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's, yeah, very, very cool. I mean, I had no doubt you'd hit your 60 miles, but just everything else on top of that, that's just like icing on the cake. So
I
that's,
will
yeah.
tell you, I'm glad to be able to grow my beard out again though. I think about the 28th or the 29th of the month, I got woken up in the middle of the night with my face just burning, itching, and I don't know if it's because I had shaved it too much for the month or what. It was just, it was not happy. But I woke myself up scratching. That's how irritated it was. I'm like, I need to grow my beard back.
Right.
So and I don't grow much of a beard. It's not like I have a full on. It's just a short, you know,
Yeah.
tight beard, kind of like yours, and
Yeah. Just enough.
yeah, but also it's me not going skin going down to the skin every time, and it makes a difference. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed it while it lasted, but I'm glad it's over. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, good deal. I'm proud of you for doing that. And that's, amazing work.
thank you. Alrighty, well, we'll wrap up. Real quick again, folks. We are Ray and Ryan, Movement Monday with Ray and Ryan. Once again, we're both promoters for Innovative Posh. We've got patches with vitamins in them. We've got self-care products, bath care, skin care, and all of the above. So if you want any more information about any of that, please feel free to reach out to either one of us, me or Ryan, and we'd love to get you some more information on that. We do have sample packs available of 4 of our patches, and so those come free with it's a sample kit. You just pay shipping on that, so it's a pretty sweet deal with that. We are on YouTube, so if you haven't checked us out on YouTube yet, please do so. If this is your first time joining us, we have plenty of episodes for you to go back and watch. We'd love the support. Like, share, tell a friend, bring a friend. We'd love any type of support that you can provide us. If movement and fitness and nutrition is a passion of yours and you'd like to be a guest with us, reach out to one of us. We'd love to have you as a guest. If there's any specific subjects that you'd like to hear us talk about in the future, again, let us know. We'd love any inspiration for us to bring to a conversation. So other than that, we'll wrap it up and keep moving. Take your vitamins, drink your water, and we'll talk to you all next week. Take care.
See you guys.